You know, we the face of boxing. You know, you missed the boat. You missed the boat.
Shakur saying, "Hey, you know, I'll wait till September." What do you think about, you know, Shakur saying that he would wait for the Tank fight?
As the boxing world eagerly awaits Gervonta Tank Davis's next move, his coach Kenny Ellis is making it clear Shakur Stevenson had his chance, and he let it slip. In a recent bold statement, Ellis claims Stevenson missed the boat on a potential super fight and accuses him of trying to age out Tank. With Davis's team now looking elsewhere, this could be a missed opportunity or a calculated delay from Team Shakur. While discussing the ongoing tension between the two camps, Kenny Ellis didn't hold back in his assessment of Shakur Stevenson's approach. Speaking candidly, Ellis shared what he believes is a strategy being used to delay the fight.
I see that coming from Shakur. Wait as long as he can.
Wait as long as you can?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Trying to age him out.
You think that Shakur will try to age Tank out?
Yeah. But he ain't aging no time soon.
So when you mean by that is, you mean what? By like him avoiding the fight? Avoiding that opportunity?
Not Shakur. I mean, just fighters, period, they do that. They try to wait until, you know, they think a fight is old, but
Ellis's comments reflect a growing sentiment within Team Davis that Shakur Stevenson had a clear window to take the fight but chose to hesitate, possibly in hopes that Tank's prime would begin to fade. It's a tactic seen before in boxing, where fighters or teams delay big matchups, waiting for a perceived advantage in timing. However, Ellis was firm in saying that won't work with Gervonta, who he insists is still sharp, active, and far from declining. The message was clear. Team Davis is no longer waiting, and Stevenson's moment may have already passed. When asked directly about the potential for the Stevenson fight to happen in the future, possibly in 2025, Ellis made it clear that his interest in the matchup has diminished. For him, the window of opportunity has already come and gone.
Tank ain't old. He ain't nowhere near old.
Is that a fight that, you know, I know you talked about, you know, 2025, if that fight wasn't to happen, then it's probably never gonna happen. Do you feel like...
I don't really care for it.
No?
No.
How come?
Because it could have been happened.
It could have been happened?
Yeah. I don't really care for it.
Ellis's remarks underscore a growing sentiment within Team Davis that the window for a Davis-Stevenson fight may have closed. This perspective is influenced by Davis's recent in-ring experiences. On March 1st, 2025, Davis faced Lamont Roach, resulting in a controversial majority draw that ended Davis's perfect record. The judges scored the bout 115 to 113 for Davis and 114 to 114 on the other two cards. Notably, in the 9th round, Davis took a knee, which was not officially counted as a knockdown due to the referee citing grease in Davis's eyes. This outcome has led to plans for a rematch targeted for June 21st, 2025, with both fighters expressing interest in settling the score. Amid these events, Shakur Stevenson has consistently expressed his eagerness to face Davis, labeling it as potentially the biggest and best fight in the sport.
Yeah, it's the two best fighters in boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis is a hell of a fighter. I keep telling y'all he got great skills, but I'm better than him. I'm better than him at hit and don't be hit, and he can't beat me.
Stevenson has drawn analogies between such a matchup and legendary sports rivalries, emphasizing the significance of two top-tier athletes competing in their prime. He has also expressed confidence in his abilities, suggesting that his boxing skills surpass those of Davis. However, Davis has downplayed the potential of this bout, questioning Stevenson's accomplishments and suggesting that Stevenson hasn't done enough in the sport to warrant such a high-profile fight.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name, he haven't done nothing.
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, you know, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of something, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't throw don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. That shit win in boxing.
The tension between Shakur Stevenson's camp and Team Davis isn't just about missed opportunities, it's also about control. As anticipation for a Davis-Stevenson showdown has grown, so has the public pressure for the fight to happen. However, according to Kenny Ellis, that pressure doesn't dictate their timeline. In his view, Stevenson and his team had their chance to make the fight when it was available, and now they no longer hold any leverage in negotiations. For Ellis, it's about respect for the position Davis has earned in the sport, one where he calls the shots.
People will want you to do what they want you to do when they want to do it. No, it don't work like that. You know, we the face of boxing. You know, you miss the boat, you miss the boat. They miss the boat. They don't, you know, they don't control it. They don't tell us when to move. Well, not us. They don't tell Tank when to move.
Ellis's comments reflect Team Davis's confidence in their status within the sport. With Tank holding an undefeated record and a string of high-profile victories, including knockouts over Ryan Garcia and Leo Santa Cruz, they see themselves as the A-side in any negotiation. That status, according to Ellis, means they're not reacting to external demands or timelines, especially from fighters who haven't matched Tank's drawing power or accolades. The quote also highlights a deeper narrative. A fight between Davis and Stevenson isn't just a matchup of skills, it's a battle over positioning, legacy, and influence in boxing. From Team Davis's perspective, Stevenson had the opportunity to face Tank when the timing was right, but by waiting, he lost the chance to dictate terms. Whether or not the fight still happens down the line remains uncertain, but if it does, it will be on their terms, not Shakur's. While Kenny Ellis and Team Davis have seemingly closed the chapter on a potential Stevenson fight, Shakur finds himself navigating a different set of frustrations. Initially, Stevenson believed he had a deal lined up through Saudi advisor Turki Al-Sheikh to make the fight happen. However, that offer appears to have fallen apart. Frustrated, Shakur took to X to clear the air, posting, "The fight is ordered by the WBC. I'm still champion and aren't pulling out of anything. If we can't reach a deal with Golden Boy, then purse bids it is. See you soon." Behind that post was clear disappointment. Stevenson reportedly expected a much higher purse, but sources indicate he's now being offered less than what he made in his last fight against Josh Padley. As the conversation turned to potential reasons why the Stevenson fight never materialized, Kenny Ellis acknowledged that there may be more behind the scenes than fans realize. One possibility? Stevenson's lingering hand issues, a factor that's followed him through recent fights. While Ellis didn't speculate too heavily, he left the door open for that to be part of the equation.
Do you feel like maybe they didn't take that fight or that opportunity that you're talking about because Shakur's hand?
Possibility, you never know. You know, never know. You never know. You know, like Tank said, Tank might retire, man. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta wait to see what he do. Whatever he do, I respect it. You know, if he keep going, he got my support. If he retires, he got my support. A lot of these guys had the opportunity. They ain't, you know, they ain't take it. So keep on moving. Life goes on.
Ellis's comments reflect a mix of realism and finality. In his eyes, the window was open, and now it may be shut for good. He also hinted at the uncertainty surrounding Davis's own future. With Tank recently expressing that retirement is a possibility, time is clearly a factor in these decisions. Meanwhile, following Gervonta Davis's controversial majority draw against Lamont Roach, the boxing world erupted with opinions, and Shakur Stevenson wasted no time sharing his. Attending the fight in person, Stevenson didn't hold back when asked for his reaction. While keeping the focus off himself, he was clear about what he saw in the ring.
Shakur, listen, all the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to shit on him, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't gonna shit on him.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I thought Lamont won.
You thought Lamont won?
Stevenson's comments stirred even more buzz around a potential showdown with Davis, suggesting that Roach laid out the blueprint to beat Tank and that he could do it 10 times better was a bold statement. But what stood out more was Shakur's direct assertion: Lamont won. In the lead up to Gervonta Davis's bout with Lamont Roach, Shakur Stevenson continued to voice his desire for what he believes is the biggest fight in the sport. While public perception has often painted both sides as playing negotiation chess, Stevenson was clear. He wanted the fight, and so did influential backers behind the scenes.
What's the conversations been like with Turkey Ellis about that Gervonta Tank Davis fight? Because Eddie says he wants to make it.
Turkey want to make the fight too. I think that once again it's the biggest fight in boxing. He won it, I won it. Now it's all up to Tank.
Shakur's reference to Turki al-Sheikh, a key figure in orchestrating high-profile bouts in Saudi Arabia, further reinforces that this wasn't just talk. There were real efforts, at least from Stevenson's side, to get the wheels moving. Yet, despite Shakur's openness and backing, Team Davis remained firm in their stance. The time has passed. According to Kenny Ellis, they offered the fight when it made sense, and now they're not waiting around. It's a clash of perspectives. Shakur believes Tank is stalling. Team Davis says Shakur already missed his shot. Regardless of where the truth lies, the fans see what's unfolding. A super fight that's drifting further from reality, even as both sides claim they're ready. While Team Davis may feel the Stevenson fight has lost its window, not everyone in the boxing world agrees. In fact, Lamont Roach, who just shared the ring with Gervonta Davis, had a surprising take following their clash. Speaking candidly, Roach offered a unique point of comparison from inside the ropes. Lamont Roach said, "Shakur is a bad boy, man. I mean, I've been in a ring with him more than recently. Shakur is a bad boy. I lean towards Shakur to be a more difficult fighter for me as compared to Tank." That statement instantly turned head, coming from a fighter who just went 12 rounds with Tank and held his own in a highly debated draw. Roach's assessment carries weight. While Davis is known for his explosive power and finishing ability, Stevenson's technical precision and defensive mastery present a different kind of problem, one Roach believes would be even more difficult to solve. Roach's comment adds fuel to the ongoing debate. Has Davis truly moved past the most legitimate challenge in his division? Or is Stevenson still the opponent who could push him to his limits, or even hand him his first loss? While Team Davis downplays the appeal and marketability of a fight with Shakur Stevenson, not everyone in the sport shares that sentiment. Pound for pound great Terrence Crawford recently spoke out in defense of Stevenson, emphasizing not just his skills, but the double standard often applied to fighters with a defensive style.
Yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. You know, Shakur is different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done, so it's not marketable. But he can't do that because Shakur is what, 3-weight world champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
how many actual real titles have Tank had? Like what, 2?
Crawford's words cut to the heart of the debate. In his view, Tank's dismissive tone isn't about disinterest, it's about avoiding a style matchup that presents real risk. By calling out what he sees as strategic dismissal, Crawford is adding public pressure to Team Davis, essentially challenging their narrative that Stevenson is no longer a relevant name. With a resume that includes multiple division titles and an Olympic pedigree, Shakur isn't someone easily brushed aside.
I will pick Shakur because I don't believe Tank will be able to land those big shots on Shakur like he does everybody else.
Right.
Shakur defense is just too tight.
Still, Team Davis remains unified in their stance. Not just that Stevenson missed his opportunity, but that he was never the true threat many made him out to be. While acknowledging Shakur's talent, Coach Calvin Ford made it clear where he thinks the gap lies between the two fighters.
He's a very great boxer. You know what I'm saying? He can box. I can't take that from him. You know what I'm saying? But he know I know. I mean, I'm being real. They know I know. You know what I'm saying? You know, Shakur, he's what I sit there say. Shakur is a great fighter, but he's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I know him from a kid. I know him. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said again, he know what Tank is. You know what I'm saying? So
Ford's message echoes what Kenny Ellis has been saying all along. Team Davis respects Shakur's ability, but they don't see him as the guy who can beat Gervonta. In their eyes, Tank's explosive style, elite finishing ability, and star power put him on a different tier. It's a firm stance, and one that continues to define their approach. They believe Stevenson had his window, didn't take it, and now they're moving on. But as public interest continues to simmer, and voices like Crawford and Roach add weight to Stevenson's case, the question remains, is this unfinished business or a chapter officially closed? Share your thoughts in the comments below.